Oh my gosh, I found a curve. There's a turn in the road in Nebraska. Oh buddy, oh buddy, oh look at this, it's so exciting. Sorry, this is the first one I've come across. Oh, look at this, look, I got banked over. This is sad. This is sad, and this is it. I gotta go back to the Dragon. I gotta go to the Dragon tomorrow. Nice long sleeper though. Hey, fellow biker. We give you the wave. Give the wave back. But anyways, on Maddy, which I will bring in a walk around video now. But alright. And still trying to find where this thing sits so low to the ground. I'm used to my KLR. And this thing like it does not lean over very far either. It kind of makes me nervous when I put it on the side stand. So that's Maddy. Yep. See, it's rocking the Windjammer. I mean, like I said, that thing is straight up 82, man. Clean. Seat. Look at this. Look at this. That's the stock original seat. It looks brand new. Like I said, I got to do some polishing on the motor still. You know, but it's got the cool cases on them. I mean, it's just America. You know what I mean? It's just... I don't know. I love 80s stuff because it's just so, like, it was trying to be futuristic, but it's not, you know. So, and a cool side point is this bike, it's the same age as me. So I was like, hey, let's see what runs better, 36-year-old dude or 36-year-old bike. And I don't run at all, so that kind of answers that. But yeah, I don't know. We're back. So, like, you're probably wondering, why did you get a 1982 Virago 920? And do not worry, I still have Max. Max is safe at home in the garage. For those who don't know, Max is my KLR 650, and I love that bike. It's a lot of fun, but I was like, hey, it would be cool to have a second bike that's a completely different genre. And being back in the flatlands of Nebraska, I was like, what better than a cruiser? And so there's some reasons. I originally was going to do 5. I don't know if I can come up with 5. But there were some reasons why I went with the Virago 920 1982. Number one reason, above all else, is the price. The price. Older bikes are so cheap. I mean, they are very inexpensive. And, you know, and for the price, like, you're getting 90% of a modern bike's riding experience. Especially in the cruisers. I mean, this is really a cruiser, but I mean, I guess if you call a Sportster a cruiser, this would be a cruiser. They're standard motorcycles. But they haven't changed a whole lot. I mean, they've got newer, you know, their electronic fuel injection and all that kind of stuff. But the actual riding experience hasn't changed a lot. Like, you know, they still can't lean them over. They're still not responsive suspension. They're just fun to go out and ride. That's it. You know. So that's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, I didn't even come up with any cash. Like, I had some items around the house I was going to sell. I mean, trade. And I went to the guy. He's like, oh yeah, and he traded me, and I came in with $300 extra in my pocket and the bike. So you can find. Just go to Craigslist. Look at eBay, whatever. There is older motorcycles, especially in the cruiser-ish, you know, area category, that are so cheap and they're fun. I mean, they're just fun bikes. So that's number one reason, and it's a big one, is price. Because I wanted a second bike, and I wanted something that I could afford, and I couldn't afford much. Boom. Works. Number two reason, I can work on this bike. And you're thinking, well, I don't want to work on a bike. I don't know how to work on a bike either. I don't know how to work on a bike. I can do oil changes. I can adjust chains, which is a shaft. So, that works out. So I can do those things. But I can't do an engine rebuild. You know, and up until last night, I thought I couldn't adjust valves. But I did. It's easy. It takes time. You get frustrated because you can't fit your fingers in places. You just start using, you know, colorful metaphors like, but you can do it. And I never really would have attempted doing that when I just had one bike because even though the KLR is like the most rudimental engine ever, I mean, it's a 1980s single, you know, it's not a hard, I mean, it's a 2006 bike, but the engine's from the 80s, and it's not hard to work on, but I've always been scared to attempt something I didn't know how to do, because if I screw up, now I'm out of bike, I can't go ride. And so, with 2 bikes, I'm like, well, you know what, I'm willing to, like, especially with when I have very little money in, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to go in and kind of experiment and push myself on learning mechanicking on a bike. And mechanicking on a bike is going to help you in a lot of ways. One, you're going to learn your bike really well. And the basic idea of how a motorcycle works with combustion and compression and all that stuff is doesn't matter what your bike it is. It's a similar principle. So knowing your bike, that, you know, your older bike, say you have 2 bikes, you got your new bike you don't want to work on, and you get your older bike. Knowing your older bike really well is going to help you with your newer bike. And even though you may still not want to work on your newer bike because all electronics on it, or it's just, you know, the tolerancing's a lot tighter and you're kind of scared of it, that's fine. But it's going to help you know more about it, and maybe when you hear things, kind of give you a better clue what's going on, and know how soon you've got to get that into the shop, or you need to shut it off and not ride it until it's fixed. So that's number 2, is like the actual mechanicking on it. You can do it, there's less electronics, getting to know the bike better. So that's the second reason. The third reason is, this is the reason that anybody who owns one motorcycle, especially if it's a new motorcycle, should own a second older motorcycle. Carburation. Carburation's fueling, when it's proper and it's not gunked up and you've got the pin set right, is so smooth. I mean, it is. EFI is far superior in its simplicity to use. You start the bike, you go. You don't have to choke. You don't have to worry about cold starts. You don't have to adjust your elevation. You don't have to adjust idle. It just runs. It's beautiful. But I've yet to ride an EFI bike, and I've owned many, that have the smoothness of throttle response as a properly set up carbureted bike. I know you people can argue. I'd have never owned a super high-end EFI bike. Maybe that's my issue, but you know, whatever. But that's number 3. Everybody should experience that. It's just, I love it. I don't know. And the 4th reason you should own an inexpensive older bike is you're willing to spend money on a bike outside of what you think is your ideal category if it doesn't cost very much. And I think that's why the Groms took off, is they were so cheap, and people were like, I mean, I don't really want a Grom for my only bike, but they're cheap, so they're like, hey, and then they found out, wow, this is a lot of fun. Well, the same thing can be said for older bikes, but you don't have to be stuck on a Grom. So, say you're a sport bike guy, or you're an adventure bike guy, or you're a dual sport guy, or you're a cruiser guy, right? Cruiser guys, you're going to have a harder time getting out of your category, because older bikes, old standards, I guess you can get into, which is the mother of sport bikes. But, I mean, but you can get on, like, especially sport bike guys and the ADV guys, you can get into an older cruiser for next to nothing. Like I said, get 90% of the experience, modern experience, and be like, oh, this is why guys ride cruisers. There is some fun to it. Can I lean it over in a corner? No. Can I drag me? Nope. Can I go blistering down the highway at 100-some miles an hour? Nope. Can I just sit back, be extremely comfortable, and enjoy being outside in the view? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. So, I mean, that's why, that's 4, I guess. The 4th reason is adventure outside of what you assume your favorite category of motorcycle is. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's price, working on it, knowing your bike, carburation, get to enjoy it, and 4, like, adventure outside of your category. And number 5, big reason, this is only to married guys, it makes your wife really, really happy when you go out and you say you're going to get a second bike, and you come back and you spend A, very little money, or B, okay, you come back and you hand her $300. That's the bonus. So yeah. But yeah, guys, I have some craziness trying to film this, but this bike's 80ness is amazing. I'm loving it. I named her Maddy. Don't worry, Max is still around, so as videos come out, some will be on Maddy, some will be on Max. So we'll catch you on the flip side.